Have you ever felt like you were carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders? Like every step you take is met with resistance, every path ahead clouded by uncertainty. You try to hold it all together, to fight through the chaos, but deep down you feel like you're at your breaking point. That whisper in your mind says, "What if it all falls apart?" You are not alone in this feeling, but here's something you may not have realized yet. You're not just anyone, you are chosen. You are here for something greater. Look around at the world today. Conflict, division, and uncertainty flood our lives. Headlines scream of instability, and it's easy to feel small, powerless, overwhelmed. But you were born for moments like this. You were placed here, in this exact time, in this exact life, to rise above the fear and chaos. You are being called to something higher. Today, we're going to explore what it means to step into that calling, to surrender your worries, trust in something greater, and step fully into your power as one of the chosen. Chapter 1. Fear, the gateway to strength. Let's begin with fear, that relentless force that tries to hold us hostage. That voice in the back of your mind whispering, "You're not ready, you're not strong enough. What if you fail?" But here's the truth about fear. It's not here to stop you. It's here to shape you. It's a tool, a test, a call to action. Fear shows up when something matters. It shows up when you're on the verge of a breakthrough, when you're standing on the edge of transformation, about to step into a version of yourself that you didn't even know was possible. Think about it. Fear only appears when you're entering uncharted territory. It doesn't show up when you're playing small or staying safe. It shows up when you're stepping into greatness, when you're stretching beyond what you once thought you could be. That's why fear feels so overwhelming at times. It knows you are standing on sacred ground, about to grow, about to rise, about to evolve into the person you were always meant to become. And the heavier the fear feels, the greater the opportunity on the other side. This is why fear is not your enemy. It's your gateway to strength. It's the fire that forges leaders. It's the crucible that tests and purifies chosen ones. The world may throw storms at you, but storms are where you learn to stand tall. Storms are where you discover your inner power. Fear, when faced head-on, becomes a teacher that shows you exactly where your courage begins. Now, take a moment to reflect. What fear is holding you back right now? Is it the fear of failure? The fear of rejection? The fear of the unknown? Whatever it is, I want you to ask yourself, what if this fear isn't here to block me? What if it's here to build me? Imagine standing at a doorway. On the other side is the life you dream of, the peace, the purpose, the freedom you've been longing for. Fear is the threshold. You don't have to eliminate the fear to move forward. You just have to walk through it. The act of stepping forward, despite the fear, is where your strength is born. It's in that moment of choosing courage over comfort that you begin to see yourself as the chosen one you are. And here's something powerful to remember. You don't have to face fear alone. Surrender isn't about weakness. It's about recognizing that you don't have to carry the burden by yourself. It's about knowing that there's a higher power walking with you, guiding you, holding you steady when the winds of doubt try to knock you down. When you surrender your fear to that higher power, you step into trust. And trust is what transforms fear into fear. Fear as a catalyst for change. Fear, when seen through the lens of trust, becomes a catalyst for change. It pushes you to question old beliefs, to let go of what no longer serves you, and to reach beyond what feels safe. It forces you to confront the parts of yourself that you've been afraid to face, the doubts, the insecurities, the wounds, and in that confrontation you find healing. Think about the times in your life when you were most afraid. Maybe it was a difficult decision you had to make, a moment when everything felt uncertain, or a time when you faced a personal challenge that seemed insurmountable. Did you grow stronger? Did you gain wisdom? Did you discover a depth of resilience you didn't know you had? Fear didn't stop you then, and it won't stop you now unless you let it. Remember, fear is temporary. Growth is permanent. Every time you choose to face fear, you rewrite the story. You prove to yourself that you are stronger than the doubts, braver than the obstacles, and more capable than you ever believed. You remind yourself that you are chosen, not by chance, but by purpose. The shift from fear to trust. Here's where the shift happens. When you stop trying to fight fear and start choosing to trust instead. Trust that the higher power guiding you sees a bigger picture than you can see right now. Trust that you are equipped with everything you need to take the next. Surrendering fear doesn't mean the challenges disappear. It means you approach them differently. You no longer see fear as something to avoid, but as something to move through, something that signals growth. Every great leader, every chosen one throughout history, faced fear. But they didn't let it stop them. They let it refine them, shape them, and push them toward their purpose. So ask yourself again, what fear is holding me back? And what would happen if I decided right now to trust instead? Would you take that leap of faith you've been hesitating on? Would you speak up where you've been silent? Would you step forward into the unknown, trusting that you'll be guided every step of the way? Fear and the call to rise. Here's the truth. Fear doesn't show up in the lives of the ordinary. It shows up in the lives of those who are destined to rise. If you feel fear, it's because you are being called to step up, called to break free, called to lead. You are not here to play small. You are here to create, to inspire, to heal, and every time you face fear and rise above it, you step closer to fulfilling that purpose. This is your call to rise. This is your moment to step out of fear and into trust. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to see the entire path ahead. You only need to take the next step. And when you do, you'll find that the ground beneath you is stronger than you imagined, and the light within you is brighter than you ever knew. So take a deep breath, feel the fear, acknowledge it, and then, with faith in your heart and trust in your soul, take that step. The world needs you, not a smaller, safer version of you, but the bold, courageous, chosen one that you are. Let fear be the fire that fuels your rise. This is your time. This is your moment. The gateway to strength is right before you. Step through it. Your journey begins. Chapter 2. You are chosen. Trusting the unseen hand. Who are you, really? You're not ordinary. You were never meant to blend in with the crowd, never destined for a life of quiet conformity. You are chosen. That's why your journey has been filled with challenges others may never fully comprehend. Chosen ones don't walk easy paths. They face storms, they endure battles, and they confront trials that feel insurmountable at times. But these challenges aren't punishments. They are preparation. They are the fire that forges, the storms that strengthen, and the tests that transform. You might wonder, why me? Why was I chosen for this difficult path? It's because only those who carry the strength to rise above are entrusted with such a mission. Chosen ones are not called to live ordinary lives. They are called to rise above the noise, to walk paths others fear, to trust in the unseen hand that guides them, even when the way forward seems hidden by shadow. Think of the stories that inspire us, the moments of triumph that seem impossible until they happen. Moses stood before the Red Sea with no clear way forward, but he trusted. David, a young shepherd, stood before Goliath, a giant warrior, with nothing but faith and a few stones. They didn't have certainty, they had trust. They didn't have perfect conditions, they had courage. And in those moments of surrender to a higher power, the miraculous unfolds. The unseen hand in your life. Now, shift your focus inward. Think about your own life. How many times have you faced what felt like impossible odds, yet somehow made it through? How many moments have there been when you felt you were at the end of your rope, only to find strength you didn't know you had, or a solution you couldn't have predicted? Those weren't mere coincidences. That was the unseen hand of the divine guiding you, shaping you, preparing you for something great. But here's the key. Chosen ones are not meant to stay in survival mode. You weren't chosen just to endure. You were chosen to rise, to lead, and to inspire. The trials you've faced were never meant to define you. They were meant to refine. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every setback was designed to strengthen your faith, sharpen your character, and awaken your purpose. Take a moment now. Reflect on your journey. Where has the unseen hand of the divine carried you when you thought you couldn't go on? Where have you found unexpected strength, resilience, and grace? These moments are not random. They are proof. Proof that you have always been guided. Proof that you have always been chosen. And now, it's time to step fully into that truth. Trusting when the path is unclear. Trust doesn't require perfect clarity, it requires faith in the unseen. It's easy to trust when everything is going well, when the road ahead is clear and smooth. But true trust is forged in the unknown, in the moments when the path is unclear, and fear whispers, "Turn back." It's in those moments that chosen ones rise, not because they have all the answers, but because they trust the one who does. You don't have to see the entire picture to trust that there's a greater plan at work. You don't have to understand every twist and turn to believe that you are being guided. Trust is a choice, a daily, conscious decision to hand over your fears, your doubts, your plans, and to say, "I trust that I am being led exactly where I need to be." Think of it this way. When you plant a seed, you don't see the roots growing beneath the surface, but you trust that they are. You water it, you nurture it, and in time it grows. Trust works the same way. You may not see the full picture right now, but that doesn't mean growth isn't happening. The unseen hand is always at work, guiding your steps, even when you can't see the outcome. You are being prepared for something greater. Chosen ones are called to something greater, but with that calling comes preparation, and preparation often looks like hardship. It looks like moments of isolation, where you feel like no one truly understands your journey. It looks like moments of doubt, where you question whether you're on the right path. But here's the truth. Every challenge is preparing you for the impact you're meant to make. You are not being tested to be broken, you are being tested to be built. Imagine a diamond. Before it can shine, it must endure immense pressure. Before it can be placed in the light, it must be refined. You are that diamond. The pressure you've faced, the storms you've weathered, the fire you've walked through, they've all been refining you, preparing you to step into your light. Now is the time to trust that all of it, every pain, every loss, every victory, has been part of a greater plan. You didn't come this far just to come this far. You were chosen for a reason. And the same unseen hand that has guided you through the storms will guide you into your purpose. The power of embracing your calling. When you truly embrace your role as a chosen one, something remarkable happens. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of your circumstances and start seeing yourself as the creator of your destiny. You realize that every setback was a setup for something greater. You understand that being chosen isn't about being perfect, it's about being willing to trust, willing to lead, even when the way forward isn't clear. Take a moment to envision what your life could look like if you fully embrace this truth. If you stopped doubting your worth, stopped questioning your path, and started trusting in the unseen hand guiding you. How would you show up differently? How would you move through fear? How would you step into the world, knowing that you are chosen, guided, and supported by a power far greater than yourself? This is your moment. The unseen hand that has carried you this far will not abandon you now. Trust in the process. Trust in the journey. And most importantly, trust in yourself. Because you are not ordinary. You are chosen. And the best is yet to come. Chapter 3. Living as a Chosen One. The Path of Trust. But how do you live as a chosen one, fully embracing your calling when doubt, fear, and uncertainty surround you? How do you take that trust in the unseen and transform it into real, tangible action in your daily life? It starts with a conscious, daily decision, a decision to surrender, not out of helplessness, but out of profound strength. Surrender, in this context, isn't about giving up control entirely. It's about recognizing that there is a greater force at work, one that knows the full path when you can only see the next. Every morning, when you wake up, make a choice to let go of the need to have all the answers. Whisper to yourself, "I may not know what today holds, but I trust that I am being guided. I trust that I am walking in alignment with a greater plan." It allows you to move through life with calmness, clarity, and confidence, even when the road ahead feels uncertain. The power of prayer and listening. Begin with prayer, not as an obligation, but as a connection. Prayer isn't about reciting perfect words, it's about opening your heart. It's where you lay down everything, the good, the bad, the hopeful, and the fearful, and say, "Lead me, guide me, show me the way." It's an invitation for divine wisdom to enter your life. And here's the key. Prayer isn't just about speaking, it's also about listening. In the stillness that follows prayer, there's a space where clarity begins to emerge. This is where the whispers of truth, the quiet nudges of intuition, come alive. But to hear them, you need moments of silence in your day. Find time to pause, even if it's just for a few minutes. Sit in stillness, breathe deep, and listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart. Often the answers you seek won't come in a booming voice or a grand revelation. They'll come as a gentle knowing, a sense of peace, or a sudden idea that feels faith in action, taking bold steps. But trust doesn't end with prayer. It requires action, consistent, bold action. Living as a chosen one means stepping out in faith, even when you don't have all the details figured out. It means following the inner prompting to take a leap, even when fear tries to hold you back. Think of it this way. Trust is the bridge between where you are and where you're meant to be, but it's your steps that take you across. Ask yourself, what step have I been hesitating to take because I'm waiting for certainty? Whether it's starting something new, letting go of something that no longer serves you, or speaking your truth, trust means moving forward, knowing that the divine will guide your way. It's about showing up fully, not just for others, but for yourself. It's about believing that you are equipped for whatever lies ahead, even if you can't yet see. Remember, chosen ones are not passive spectators in life. They are active participants, co-creators with the divine. When you live as a chosen one, you understand that while you may not control the outcome, you can control your effort, your attitude, and your willingness to trust the process. Gratitude, the anchor in every storm. Gratitude is your anchor. It's what keeps you grounded, even when life feels overwhelming. When you practice gratitude, you shift your focus from what's missing to what's present. You begin to see life not as a constant battle, but as a series of opportunities for growth, learning, and transformation. Gratitude is the light that keeps shining, even in the darkest moments. Here's a simple practice. Each day, before you go to bed, think of 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be monumental. They can be as simple as a kind word from a friend, the warmth of the sun on your face, or the strength to get through a tough day. Write them down. Speak them aloud. Let gratitude become a habit, because when you focus on what's good, you create more space for blessings to flow into your life. Even in times of struggle, there is always something to be grateful for. And when you can find gratitude in the midst of difficulty, you're not just surviving, you're thriving. You're rising above the noise of fear and doubt, and you're choosing to see life through the lens of possibility. Living with intention. Living as a chosen one means living with intention. It means waking up each day and asking yourself, how can I show up today in alignment with my purpose? How can I live in a way that honors the gifts I've been given? This might mean setting boundaries that protect your energy. It might mean choosing love over anger, even when it's hard. It might mean stepping into a leadership role in your community, your family, or your workplace, knowing that your voice matters. Living intentionally isn't about grand gestures. It's about small, consistent actions that align with who you are at your core. Chosen ones don't wait for life to happen. They create it. They move forward, even when the path is uncertain, because they trust that every step they take is guided. They understand that being chosen doesn't mean life will be easy. It means they have the strength to face whatever comes their way. Reflection, your next step. Now, ask yourself, what does it mean for me to live as a chosen one today? What small action can I take to show that I trust in the greater plan for my life? It might be making a difficult decision you've been avoiding. It might be reaching out to someone in need. It might be simply choosing to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, even if it doesn't make sense right now. Whatever it is, take that step, write it down, commit to it, and as you do, remind yourself that you are not walking this path alone. You are guided, supported, and loved by a power far greater than yourself. You are chosen, and the world is waiting for you to step fully into your light. This is your path. This is your calling. And with every step you take in trust, you're not just living, you're leading. You're showing others what's possible. when you live as a chosen one. So go ahead, trust boldly, live intentionally, and rise fearlessly. Your journey has just begun. Chapter 4. The Peace of Living in Your Purpose. When you truly step into your role as a chosen one, something incredible happens. The storms don't necessarily disappear, but they lose their power over you. You begin to experience a peace that transcends understanding. This peace isn't the absence of struggle, it's the presence of trust. It's knowing, deep in your soul, that you are exactly where you need to be, that everything happening in your life is part of a greater plan. This peace allows you to stand tall in the face of adversity. It gives you the strength to respond to negativity with love, to face uncertainty with courage, and to inspire those around you. Because when you live as a chosen one, your light doesn't just illuminate your path, it lights the way for others. You become a beacon of hope, a source of strength for those who are still searching for their own way. Take a moment now. Close your eyes. Imagine what your life could look like if you fully embraced this truth, that you are chosen, that you are guided, that you are here for something greater. Imagine waking up each day with a heart full of peace, knowing that no matter what comes your way, you have the strength to rise. That's not just a dream, that's your destiny. Your journey begins now. Let's rise together. This is your moment. The struggles you've faced, the pain you've carried, they were never meant to break you. They were meant to shape you into the person you were always destined to be. So take a moment right now. Reflect. What's your next step? What bold action will you take today to live as the chosen one you are? Write it down, commit to it, and take that step. You are not alone. There is a whole community of chosen ones rising with you, breaking free from fear, stepping into faith, and creating a new world built on love and trust. Together, we can change everything. If this message resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us, what does being chosen mean to you? And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to A Pair of Wings YouTube channel for more empowering messages to guide you on your journey. Remember, your journey matters, your light matters, and you were chosen for this moment. Let's rise together, one step, one breath, one act of faith at a time. The world needs your light. Now go out there and shine. The best is yet to come.